I'm having financial issues in my marriage. What should I do? It's tea time. Real people, real posts, real problems. So grab your favorite cup of tea or whatever you like to drink and let's spill the tea and clean it up. Let's go. All right. So, what's up? I'm Tanya, one half of TNL.J, Visions Relationship Coaching. And today on Tea Time, we're talking financial issues. Now, if you've been following us or if you're subscribed to the channel, this week we've been talking finances. So if you haven't checked out our video, go on back and check it out. We're talking finances, attachment styles, and finances, and a lot of good, juicy things that you can use in your relationship. All right, but without further ado, let's hop on in. So, this poster says, so me and my husband make good money. We both have good jobs. Just bought a house, and I got a new car. Congrats to you guys for that. That's big. We have a budget plan to where our debt will be paid off in a year. So my dilemma is that my husband acts like during a year, I'm not supposed to want for anything or spend needless money. Okay. So you guys just bought a house. You just got a new car. Okay, that's a lot of debt. Let's continue. Basically, if it's over 50 to 75 and I don't need it, it's a no to getting it. So if there is something I want, I told him that I will work overtime for money so that it doesn't affect our budget. And whatever is left over from overtime can be extra towards debt. Okay, so I understand that you're working overtime. And I ain't going to say too much right now because we're going to clean it up after we read this and go over some comments. But if you're working overtime, that's great. But know this, that money is still money that's being spent. All right. So it's sort of like there's a song that says, spend that money, get it right back. It might even say, spend that check and get it right back. You can never get that back. You can't replace the money that you're spending because if you would have kept that money instead of spending it, then now you would have more. So just keep that in mind. But let's keep going. Um, so where were we? So basically, if it's not over 50 to 75 and I don't need it, then it's a no-go to getting it. So if there's something I want, I told him that I work overtime for the money so that it doesn't affect our budget. And whatever's left over from overtime can be extra towards debt. But he still disagrees and thinks that I'm being super selfish. If I work overtime, it should all go to debt or I should work overtime. So if I work overtime, it should all go to debt or I shouldn't work overtime. Okay. I was a single mom for 4 years. I'm sorry, not for 4 years. I was a single mom for years before we met. And I had a shitty job going through school. Excuse my language. Going to school. I never got to enjoy getting things for myself. Now I have a really good job and the funds to provide a good life and enjoy it. So I don't want to live my life the next year or so just giving my paychecks away to debt and sitting around the house. Okay, so if I could just cut in real quick, um, being that in your childhood you wasn't able to spend money, I know that a lot of people, a lot of us, if we didn't have that money, then we wanna that was kind of like traumatizing us because maybe we had friends or people that had more than us and they was getting all the new things and we couldn't sit there and we couldn't get what we wanted or what we thought we needed. So that was kind of like trauma. So you're dealing with that childhood trauma and now you wanting to buy things and a lot of people do that who had that same experience that you're having. Okay, so have you talked to your husband about that childhood trauma that you've experienced when it comes to money and how, you would like to get yourself a little bit because communication is key here. Okay, let me continue. I ain't going to get too much into it. Okay, so now I have a really good job and the funds to provide a good life and enjoy it. So I don't want to live my life the next year or so just giving my paychecks away to debt and sitting around the house. I want to pay debt off and enjoy my life with my family. Am I wrong in being selfish? I don't think you're wrong, and I don't think you're being selfish. But I also don't think your husband's wrong because he want to pay off the debt. So that's not wrong. But the key is for y'all to come in one accord. But we'll keep reading. I share my final thoughts later. Okay, so here's the ed, and I'm not saying that I spend 50 to 75 frequently or that I want to spend that and that's what the argument is about. That was just an example, stating if I ever did spend that much day at Walmart on hair stuff or nails, I would get lectured about it. The stuff I'm talking about is 2 to 3 times a year, working an extra day to pay for a weekend family vacation or to buy my son and I clothes or a mod for my Jeep. Not a constant thing, but if it's going to be a big purchase, I will work extra to offset the cost so it did not affect our budget. On a monthly basis, I don't really spend anything extra. I'm a hermit. I stay at home. I can definitely feel you on the vacations because that is one thing that I do frequently. I love to vacate, and my husband is always telling me, you have got to stop getting all these vacations so we can do a little bit more stacking. And on my husband's behalf, I have to say that I do like to vacate. That's my top thing. So I will book a trip like real quick. Okay. So yeah, I did. I do listen to him a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. So back to it. Let's get to commenter number one. I'm accounting. I don't know how many items are you buying for over 50 to 75 that is an issue enough to post about it here. I'm sorry to say I agree with your husband. It sounds like you are not being financially disciplined enough to me. Uh, I would have a fun money allowance. Each spouse gets some money. Okay. That's like a double negative to me, poster. You're saying that you don't know why she's posting here about 50 to $75 and that it sounds like she's not being financially disciplined. And then you go on to give advice. That's why she posted here because she wants advice. Okay, that's why. So it is enough. If you're gonna give her the advice, it is enough. So I'm gonna read on. I would have a fun, quote unquote, money allowance each spouse gets a month that could be used to supplement clothing budget or dining, entertainment budget if you want designer sunglasses or to go out for a nice dinner or drinks or a theme park. I don't think she really care about the designer glasses. She just wants some sunglasses. She seemed to me like she just want to get what she want to get. Or it could be used for a one-off splurge. Like maybe he wants new golf clubs or something. Whatever. Next, this OP rather than an item over 50 to 75, decide on a set amount of fund money per month, pay period, etc. Next, my wife and I set aside a certain amount for fun personal expenses in our budget. No arguing as long as we stick with it. It carries over to future months so we can save up. It's a $200 a month right now. It's at $200 a month right now, which is cool. But did you and your wife just get a new house and a new car? Do y'all got debt to pay off? 200 a month with a lot of debt. But to each his own. Let's scroll. The faster you pay the debt off, the faster you can enjoy life. How much is the debt really, though, is the question. And then here is what she said earlier. If I work overtime, it should all go to debt or I shouldn't work overtime. So, I mean, I don't disagree because you're taking time away from the family to work overtime for the things you want. Likely meaning there will be less on your plate at home because he'd be picking up the slack. Maybe a bit of compromise where for every 15 to 20% you pay off the debt, you get to spend needless money. That's a good idea. It's twofold. One, it keeps you motivated and disciplined to pay down your debt. Yeah, small wins. Yep, celebrate them small wins, and they build momentum. And two, it satisfies your craving to spend needlessly. That is a great. That's great advice. I like that. All right, so next one. I disagree with you. As long as she's not doing this all the time, it's absolutely fine to do this every once in a while. Poor or not, she's allowed to occasionally want something just because she wants it. Hmm? I can see both sides to an extent. I get him wanting to pay off the debt faster, but at the same time, I don't think it's selfish to treat yourself every now and then. As long as it's not all the time, I don't see the issue. Okay, so I'll make that the last one. So share your thoughts. What do you think? Yeah, the husband's normally is the one with the vision. And so he probably just wanting to pay off that debt, okay? Because to be able to pay off that debt will be a lot off your back, and then you can enjoy yourself and have some fun. So I understand that from the husband's perspective. So don't look at it as if he's trying to, stop you from spending or buying anything. Just look at it as he want to pay the debt off. So let me share some of my final thoughts, my final takeaways. Don't forget to let me know what you think about this. Do you think that she's wrong for spending? Do you think that she's out of the budget plan, or she should stick to it? Let me know what you think. It's very important. All right. So if I can directly talk to you, I will start by saying it's not about being selfish. I just don't believe that this is about being selfish. This is about balance. This is about freedom. And more than anything, this is about understanding each other's values and emotional history with money, because that emotional history with money shapes who you are today. And for you to sit down and communicate with your partner would really, just be vulnerable with him if you hadn't already. Because he may understand more if you're more vulnerable and open with him about your childhood trauma with money. Okay, it may not make him be like, okay, yeah, go ahead and spend, or spend this, but he'll understand more. He could be more understanding. Okay, and you're not wrong for wanting to enjoy like the life that you helped build. Not at all. You worked hard, you raising your child, and you came through your own personal wilderness. So kudos on that and congratulations on that. So now that you stepped into a new season of stability, of peace, of blessings, it's totally natural to want to exhale. Okay, it's natural to want to exhale. It's natural to want to go spend a little bit. But here's the tea. And where are my manners? What are you drinking? What's in your cup? Let me sip my little tea real quick before I go any further. And today I am drinking a little bit of black tea. So I'm just gonna take a little sip. All right. All right. So here's the tea. When two people come into a marriage, especially with different money stories, it's easy for fear to speak louder than love. Okay. Your husband, I don't feel like he's necessarily trying to control you. He may be trying to protect the vision, but the vision needs to have room for both of your needs. So you got to come together. What I'm hearing is that his attachment to money is rooted in structure and safety, while yours is more about reward and restoration, and both are valid. So, they're valid. This is why we say money isn't just numbers, it's emotional, it's spiritual, and it's deeply personal. This is where we do the real work. So what I want you to do is grab your partner. If you're watching this, and if you're somebody else who's watching this and you're having money problems and financial issues in the same way as this, if you want to spend some but your husband don't, if the husband want to spend some but your wife don't want you to, she wants you to pay off the debt, come together and ask each other, what does money represent to you? Ask each other that, okay? And grab a pen and pad and write it down if you need to, because I always say marriage is not like easy. Marriage is homework. Marriage is school. Marriage is work. Okay, so do a little homework on each other. Ask yourself, when you think about debt, What feelings come up? Also, what did your upbringing teach you about spending, saving, and sacrifice? Another important question is important to know what the upbringing brought. Okay, so because you could be still bringing those situations and that upbringing into your marriage. Okay, and that need to be talked about. Another question is, do you feel safe when we spend? Do you feel seen? Get deep, figure out what's going on there with that money, because again, money is emotional. You see, it's just not about overtime or even $75 hair products. It's more about honoring each other's fears and desires and having a conversation about money. Okay, so with having a conversation about money, you need to set up a monthly marriage and money meeting. That would be great. Yeah, make it a date. You can bring coffee or your favorite tea. Make sure you have some candles, get some tacos, whatever you need to soften the mood. Maybe a little jazz, review your goals, celebrate your wins together, and then talk about the challenges as well. And in that space, make room for a little joy budget. Okay, don't that sound good? Joy budget sounds a lot better than just a budget. Okay, a happy budget. So, yes, 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 pay the debt. By all means, pay the debt. And yes, be disciplined in doing so. But also schedule the weekend getaway. Don't let it stress you out to the point. Don't let it stress you all out to the point to where you're not having fun, because again, we only live once. You never know when you're gonna go, and you don't want to just work, 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 and not do anything, together, spend any quality time, anything. That's a quick way to shoot the marriage down. Okay, you still want to do the weekend getaways. You want to buy those sneakers for your son. Okay, buy the sneakers. Go get the mod for the Jeep. It's okay to plan for pleasure with purpose. All right, that's plan for pleasure with purpose. Okay, so you're not asking for a shopping spree. So you're not being selfish. You're just asking to be considered, and that matters. So no, sis, you're not being selfish. You're asking for alignment. Okay, and that's exactly what a strong marriage is built on. Again, visionaries, I want you to comment. Let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think it's wrong to go buy things when you're in debt? Or, for me, just the communication would be good and proper. And having meeting somewhere in the middle um, would definitely help out. So communicate, 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 and be vulnerable. All right. Also, visit us at www.lovercoaching.com/love. We're going to help you go from conflict to connections. And we definitely talk about finances and how to, do that together. Because marriage, you're no longer separate, you're together, and you have to come on one accord to have a successful marriage. Okay, so this has been another tea time. We have spilled the tea and cleaned it up, and I'm out. See you on the next one.